A great question that we get from our authors all the time, probably the most asked question, is how do I market my book? A great way to do that is to reuse that existing content that you already have. Make it evergreen is the term. The first way, how many of you been networking? Someone's going to say, what's your book about? And in fact, if you're one of our authors, hopefully you've been at one of our events. So you have this little button that says, ask me about my book. So if you are one of our authors and you've not been at one of our events, come to those events and I'll make sure you get a button. The first thing someone says is, tell me about your book. You want to have a great positioning statement ready. Some people call this an elevator pitch. To me, a positioning statement is a bit more than an elevator pitch. It tells people who you are, what you do, and who you help. If you don't have one and you need our help, feel free to give me a call. The next thing you can do is take content from your book, not a whole chapter, not a whole page, maybe a sentence or two, and use that in your social media. That's a great way to reuse it, get people interested. Tell them a little bit more about your book, and then use that excerpt as a way to draw them in. And please always remember to add a graphic or a video to your social media. That way you're going to get their attention right off the bat. Now that you've added it to your social media, a great way to get more attention and to start building that list for your email distribution is to offer a freebie. Quite often when an author is creating the outline for their book, they may start with, the top 10 tips and then expand that top 10 tips into an actual book. All you're doing is kind of taking it in the reverse. Take a look at your book, take a look at your table of contents. Now that you've already have the book in hand, what can you pull out of that you can synopsize down into a small list? Maybe it's the top 5, top 6, top 10, top 20. You get to pick the number. Just don't rewrite your whole book on your freebie. You're looking for a one sheet, something that somebody can give you their email address to download, and they get this free download. The only thing they've had to pay is to give you their email address, and you can now add that to your email distribution list and start communicating with those potential new clients. From your freebie, then you can expand that, and as you've gathered your email addresses, you can now start developing your e-news in your blog. This is another way to get that message out there to people who are starting to know, like, and trust you. They're your followers, they're your tribe, they're the people that want to get more information. They're the people that are soon, hopefully, to be asking you for help on one-on-one contracts. From that, some people will also dissect their book into smaller ebooks as a way to market their larger book. You can also post those on Amazon, and you can also sell those on Amazon. Or you can use those for special clients as a free download. That's a conversation we could have one-on-one. While you're doing all this, you will start getting questions from people. Perhaps things that may not have been in your book, or things that are going to be assets for book 2. New questions that are coming in. Keep a list of book 2 questions that later on you may decide, okay, I'm ready, let's do book 2. And most of all, listen to those conversations. If people are asking you questions, I know recently I've been hearing about something that maybe we forgot to add to our website, or instructions we forgot to include in a how to do something. And it's like, oh yeah, that's a note to self. That's actually a note on my phone. That means it's something that I need to do and fix. Those are the times that you can learn so much just from the questions that people are asking you. I'm Kathy Davis, Davis Creative Publishing. Are you ready to write that book you've been thinking about? Give me a call. Check us out, daviscreativepublishing.com. We're ghost publishers of nonfiction books and group anthologies.